Jai Hind students, as we have covered moving charge and magnetism in CRT chapter number 4, we are about to move forward and going to start chapter number 5, magnetism and matter, as per our prescribed syllabus. Yes, I am your physics teacher. So there are certain things like torque on a current loop magnetic dipole, which was in chapter number 4, but I will cover here in chapter number 5 because it will form a continuity so that you can understand it in a much better way. So what we have to study in this chapter is that bar magnet and its properties, current loop as a magnetic dipole and dipole moment, solenoid equal to bar magnet, which I have already discussed in the classrooms, bar magnet and its dipole. When we talk about the dipole, it comes to my mind that we have already studied the dipole in chapter number 1 in electric field, but here we have to use the magnetic field. Okay, Coulomb's law, again what we have studied in chapter number 1. Once again we will see the Coulomb's law in the form of magnetism. Important terms to magnetism: magnetic field due to a dipole, what is the torque experienced by that dipole, and up to here this is the earlier chapter, and some portions of it are also covered in chapter number 5. So if you see now on a broad scale, your chapter number 4 and chapter number 5 both should be studied in a combined way, not in a absolute or a individual way, because these two chapter combine a magnetism. And your first three chapters, chapter number 1 to chapter number 3, these all should be seen in a one's perspective. This chapter 1 to 3 is covering 17 marks in your board examination, and this chapter number 4 and 5, as per the CBSE numbers, this will are approximately covering 15 marks. So these 5 chapter will combine you almost those magical numbers which everyone should that they get out of it. Okay, after the topic number 8, that is torque and our work done on a magnetic dipole, we will be again in the chapter number 5, that is terrestrial magnetism, elements of earth magnetism, tangent law, properties of dia, para and ferro, and hysteresis in magnetism. This is an additional topic which I have included in this slide. It will be covered in the topic number 14, that is hysteresis law. So again, so let's start the what do you mean by the magnetism. So the phenomena of attracting magnetic substance like iron, nickel, cobalt is termed as magnetism. A body possessing the property of magnetism is called magnet. These are the few basic points. Just brush up the concepts. A magnetic pole is a point near the end of the magnet where magnetism is concentrated. That means all the field lines are concentrated near the poles. Earth is a natural magnet, which we all know. So the region around a magnet in which it exerts a force or other magnet and on object made of iron is a magnetic field. So what does it saying is that if there is a magnet and the region around this magnet will exert a force on the other magnet, suppose this is the other magnet, and the region around magnet number 1 will experience a force and exerts also a force on the second magnet, or this second magnet could be replaced with the object made up of iron, so they will experience a force. This is all about. Now the properties of bar magnet, this we have studied several times in class 10th also. Now if you suspend a magnet freely, it will align itself along the north south direction. Unlike poles will attract and like poles will repel each other. Point number 3 is magnetic poles always exist in pair. That means they cannot exist in an individual manner. Pairs cannot be separated as well. A magnet can induce magnetism in other magnetic substances. It attracts magnetic substances and repulsion in the surest test of magnetization. This could be a potential one marker question, that what is the surest test of magnetization. So it is the repulsion. A magnet attracts iron rod as well as the opposite pole of the other magnet, so therefore it is not sure test of magnetization. But if a rod is repelled with a strong force by a magnet, then the rod is surely magnetized. मतलब आपके बगल में कोई मैग्नेट है और वहाँ पर आपने एक रॉड लिया है, और अगर इस रॉड पर फोर्स ऑफ रिपल्शन लग रहा है, दैट मीन्स ये जो रॉड है आपके पास, ये पक्की बात है कि ये एक मैग्नेट हो चुकी है. इट बिकम्स मैग्नेटाइज्ड. So this is the surest test which will be give us result that this is the magnetized. Now representation of uniform magnetic field. If the lines are equidistant and of same length, these are said to be as the uniform magnetic field strength. Suppose you are representing like this way, or the back portion of an arrow. This will show you that uniform magnetic field is perpendicular and going into the plane of the diagram. If you are viewing this lecture on your mobile phone or a laptop, so the laptop's screen will be in such a way that the magnetic field lines are going perpendicular inwards. If you make such an arrangement that you can see only the tail portion of an arrow, so I can conclude it from this that the magnetic field line is uniform because they are equidistant with each other and they are going into the plane. Now what if the magnetic field lines are coming out of the plane? It will be represented by dot. Uniform nature means all lines should be equidistant. Now current loop as a magnetic dipole and magnetic moment, dipole moment. This you have studied earlier also. Now from here please pay attention. Suppose there is a loop in which current I is flowing in an anti-clockwise direction. At the center of the pole, at the center of the loop, I have applied a magnetic field whose strength is denoted as B. Now when you see this loop from the left side, what you will observe is that this current which was initially flowing in the anti-clockwise direction will seems like that it is following a path of a clockwise flow. So if the current is in the clockwise direction, the pole or the side by which you are seeing the current as in the clockwise direction, it will behave as like a south pole of a magnet. And from this side, if a person stands at right side of the loop, he will observe that the current is following anti-clockwise direction, and this anti-clockwise direction could be give the magnetic field as the north pole. So this is the way to remember the things. Like this is an anti-clockwise direction, your symbol N in the anti-clockwise, it will generate north pole, and if the current is clockwise direction like this way, it will generate south pole. This is the basic idea. Okay, now the dipole moment is what? Dipole moment is nothing but the amount of current multiplied by area and the direction. Dipole moment is represented by capital M, I multiplied by area multiplied by n cap, where n cap is the direction of magnetic field. It's a unit vector, and you very well know that what's the use of unit vector. Unit vector are used to only provide the direction. Unit will be ampere meter square. Okay, so this is the tip, and when we look at any one side of the loop carrying current, if the current is in the anti-clockwise direction, that side of the loop will behave as like a magnetic north pole. On the other hand, if the current seems to be like a clockwise direction, that side will behave as like a south pole. So I'm going to stop this lecture here. From the next lecture, we will observe that the current solenoid as a magnetic dipole or a bar magnet. Okay. So thank you and Jai Hind.